How's it going, everybody? Mike here with some lawn tips. It's a beautiful Memorial Day. Could not be a better day for it. And so we're going to do, it's a big day for lawn care. So what we're going to do is the first step, every Memorial Day, you want to put down GrubEx. So I use the Scotts GrubEx. This will be good for 5,000 square feet. And my lawn is actually perfect for this because my front is about 2,500 square feet. And my backyard is 2,500, so this 5,000, I'll be using this whole thing on it. And then we're going to use some Milorganite, some fertilizer, and each bag is roughly 2,500 square feet. So I'm going to use 2 bags of this for the front and back, just so get that real nice green, almost like a bluish tint, because it's got that iron in there. Good for nitrogen, good for all of that good stuff. And then after that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to protect my trees and my shrubs with this protect and feed. So it's going to get rid of a lot of insects that are, currently in there, or, it's also going to fertilize and do a lot of good stuff for the trees, make them bloom even better. And so I'm going to go through how to do all these step by step. And then also, but the first step you want to do is definitely you want to cut the grass before you put the stuff down, because you don't want to be pulling up the fertilizer and the GrubEx. Now I'm just gonna do some trimming. So right now we're just gonna trim, and the only reason I'm trimming the edge here is because you can tell that this ground is a little higher than this ground. A lot of people are gonna have the same thing, so that the ground actually kind of goes up at the edge. It kind of looks stupid, so you just want to trim. You just want to trim this. I'll do a little section here. Just trimming it even. Now what I recommend is that you get one of these that turns around and does your edging for you also, because you can tell the difference. Now watch one side. Do the edging. And I like to lean back when I'm doing edging also, but then it makes it, a little bit, looks a bit better. Now when you look at this edges, you can tell the difference between edged and not edged. And look at how clean this is from this angle here. You can see the grass is kind of like either straight up, or I like when I lean back this way, the grass is kind of overhanging a little bit, but not so much that it's unkept like this. So like I always say, just like in golf, they say you drive for show and you putt for dough. Dough meaning money. So it's kind of the same thing with this. Is I'm trimming to win. Trim to win. That's the way I like to think about it. So I know it's a lot of work, but I like to trim at least, I trim once a week every single time I mow. So you definitely want to do this, because especially the front. The back you can, leave if you need to, but definitely you want to trim up and edge the front every single time, make it just that much cleaner, just like a rug. Next step is going to apply the Scotts GrubEx. And this will last for up to 4 months, and this will do 5,000 square feet, which is what I have. So I'm just going to worry about the front right now first. So I'm just going to roughly pour half, since I know half should cover the whole front, just so I know from how much I got left standpoint. But we're done. So we're going to do the GrubEx now. Now that we're done cutting the grass and doing our trimming and edging. And I put the Scotts spreader on 3.5 according to the bag. So just read the instructions on the bag to figure out what the right spreader setting is for you. And what I want to do is I'm going to make a bunch of trim passes right now. So I'm going to be going all around the trim. So for example, you're going to see these little sticks in the ground every now and then. I have a few there, some stakes in the ground. This just means remember to water, because I got some spots that I either put sod down or did some new seed. So I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to put the edge guard on. So I got an edge guard. This will lock in the the spray that comes out. That's what this orange piece is. So it's an edge guard. So you're not wasting shooting out stuff
onto the right side and the left side. It'll only be on one side. All right, so now I'll show you how I do my trim pass. So you want to go fairly quick, you know. So kind of like walking at a faster pace than usual. So I'm gonna do my edge pass. It's okay to get a little bit on the concrete and stuff, as long as you spray it all off afterwards. Not spray it off, but you know, sweep it off. So I've got my trim pass here. Almost finished my trim pass. All right, and that is one trim pass. And now this'll throw spread, you know, like what, 4 to 5 feet out in all directions. So I'm going to take my safeguard off, or my edge guard. So now I'm going to get a full spread, and I'm just going to do this little section here. If you overlap a little bit, it won't hurt, you know, especially since this is just the grub control, so it's not going to hurt if you overlap a little bit. But you want to throw the seed or whatever you're doing, in this case the GrubEx, you want to throw this, you know, to the wheels, to the last wheel marks that you get. So that way it'll be even treatment all the way across. Alright, now we use the stuff we all love for fertilizing. Now that we got our grub control treatment down, Milorganite. This is a great organic fertilizer. And this gets put down much heavier than the GrubEx, so you know, it's a big difference. And it'll be smaller granule pellets as well. So you're going to put this down pretty much the same way. You know, you do your trim passes, and you'll be using 2 bags for my 5,000 square feet, because each bag's 2,500 square feet. Alright, so it's the same process for this fertilizer. Work on the trim pass now with Milorganite. Oh great, we still got a little bit of Milorganite left. What are we going to do with this extra fertilizer? Should we save it for a later day? Or what should we do with it? And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put my edge guard on, and let's further this line of separation between me and the neighbor with this extra fertilizer. And this is going to look great. And now for the last step. Because you put the GrubEx down, you want to water that deeply so that it gets all the way down to the roots where the grubs actually are. So so water thoroughly all the way through. And with, like I said, with the Milorganite fertilizer that you used, you know, it's organic, therefore it's a very slow release of nitrogen over time as the grass grows up. So That's another good thing about Milorganite. And one more good thing about it also, the Milorganite, because it's organic, and it also does not burn any of the grass. You know, a lot of times you'll see like little patches all here and there because fertilizer burn. People are, you know, using it with their hands or grabbing a handful and just just throwing it out, and it gets too concentrated in certain areas, and that's chemical burn. You know, that'll mess up the grass very quickly. It just burns it. It'll turn brown on very, very quickly. In a matter of a couple of days or so. So you want to definitely avoid that. You know, nice organic fertilizer like Milorganite or Ringer Lawn Restore. I also use that in my program. You know, I'm mostly organic. You know, so and it's actually, believe it or not, you know, a lot of organic stuff like organic foods. You know, yeah, it's more expensive, but this actually, from what I can tell, you know, and I'm a finance type of guy, you know, so I'm always looking at the numbers. It's actually cheaper. It seems to me that it seems to be cheaper using the organics, and actually better. You know, it's less room for error because it's non-burning, slow release, goes up with the grass, and it's organic. I mean, Milorganite is actually just, you know, as they say, it's actually you know, like kind of like recycled excrements, you know, human poop essentially. So but it works really good, you can tell. And one thing about watering, you'll also notice, be like, hey Mike, what happened to your lawn stripes? And yeah, when you're striping, the water, after it rains, the lawn stripes won't show as well. So each more and more it waters, it's gonna kind of fade away. It's not gonna pop as much. But it is what it is. We have to do our watering, and the stripes will be there. You know, it just won't show as much, you know. So maybe if it's gonna rain, you know, rain for a whole week in the springtime, maybe you're like, maybe I don't want to do the lawn stripes, but you know, it's always nice to be in there, and it doesn't really cost any extra once you got the thing. So it's only, you know, cutting the grass like 1/3 more. So yeah, which I'll get to in the later videos, and I can show you the lawn striper that I use. You know, they have lawn stripers out there for like $100. You know, Toro makes one, but I ended up just making my own. Just some pipe and some caps. But I will show you how to do that, and for only, I think it was like $10 after I bought it, all in. So real quick and easy. I'll do a video on that also in the future. All right, so everybody enjoy the results, and I could just sit here all day and listen to this lawn sprinkler. Gotta love it. Love that impact sprinkler. And now you can enjoy some Mountain Dew. The job well done for the day. And I'll leave this on for a few more seconds just so everybody can enjoy the soothing sounds of the impact sprinkler. And you want to move this every 15 to 20 minutes or so. That should be enough for each section, each zone they call it, of the lawn.